All right, everyone. So Triple H talked about a conversation he had with CM Punk prior to his WWE return. Here's what he said to the Sports Illustrated media podcast. There are people out there where, because of things they did where you could just can't get outside of the scope of that, would be a negative. No matter how you cut it, it would be a negative. But I would always be open to the conversation, no matter who it was. When Punk and I were having these conversations with Nick and going through this, when we first got on the phone, one of the things I said was, I want to clear the air. I'm not the same guy I was 10, 15 years ago. If I was, I wasted 10 to 15 years of my life. I've grown, I've changed, I have a different point of view. I would believe you're not the same person you were 10 years ago and that you have changed. Let's both assume that and then wipe everything else, bad thoughts, whether real or imagined. Let's get rid of them and say these are two different people that are going to talk about doing business together. How can we approach that in a way that is just let's talk about it? If we find that we don't have a common goal, no worries. That's just business. If we do, wonderful. Let's do something big together. Everybody changes, everybody grows, everybody moves on, whether positive or negative, and things people did in the past or bad blood can be overcome for the right reasons. I believe that now. I believe that years ago when I was talked to Bruno. I believe it when I was talking to Warrior. All these things, people that over time people told me. When I first went to Vince and said I want to talk to Bruno, he said, if you want to waste your time, go ahead. It's never going to happen. It took me 2.5 years, but we got there. I believe those conversations can happen and people can change. I will never say never, but we'll have to see. So, this is really, I think, a look into Triple H and why he's doing so well at this job, right? And it's important to say, look, maybe there's people out there who don't think he's doing a good job actually on, putting together the product, and that's fine. But when you talk about behind the scenes, it seems like everybody kind of likes the guy and he's doing a good job, at least in that aspect. And so this gives you good insight. He doesn't have CM Punk come in and it's like you had to apologize to me and whatever. It's a very simple look. I bet I've made mistakes. You've made mistakes. Who cares? It's over. We don't need to talk about it. We don't need to dig into it. We just got to move on and move forward and see if there's something here for us to do. And obviously, CM Punk has come in and been a huge asset to the company. And the craziest part about it, right? In a way, it's a little bit like shocking, is he was injured for the biggest show last year, right? He couldn't compete. So you think about that, he's already had a big impact and he hasn't even been able to compete on the biggest show. They built a whole storyline about his, WrestleMania. They built a whole storyline leading up to WrestleMania, and he wasn't there due to injury, and they had to make changes. So, how big is his impact going to be when he's actually at WrestleMania? It's all yet to be seen, and we'll see what happens with it. But I just think it shows a lot about why Triple H is liked by so many, and why he's doing a pretty good job in WWE right now because he understands people and he understands that look, we don't have to basically relitigate everything that's happened in the past and to, we can just say, look, we did wrong, you did wrong, that's fine. We're going to move on and do what's best for business now. And I think that's really a good way to look at it. So thank you all for watching.